Hello, everyone.
Hi, everybody.
Hi. I cannot see how many people are here. Oh, let's see. Do this. Oh, wow. Tara H. Hello. Mims. Let's
Hold
see.
on one sec. I'm trying to get to your page.
Yeah. Oh,
Mute.
thank you, Mims.
That's
And
very
is
nice of you, Mims.
everybody see this? DeJoy is on his way out by probably January time frame. Awesome. It would be so good. It would have been nice if we got him out before so that my mail wouldn't be so crazy jacked up.
Yeah.
Hello, Gina.
Hi, Gina.
It looks like
How's
there's
everyone
two people
doing?
here. Yeah. How's
Well, now we
everybody?
have Gina only because Mims had to go.
Oh, okay.
But that's okay, Gina. We're still here.
Yep. Hello. Hey, Kiva. Kiva Lions. Awesome. You're here. You're here. We just decided that we go ahead and do this and kind of make it a longer uh podcast than normal. We usually only go an hour, but we decided we'd go two and do 1 hour of about journaling and just chatting basically. In the second hour, we roll the dice and see what we got. But Sophie, do you want to announce? Do you want to announce the?
Our little thing.
Yeah, our we got two. When you want to announce the contest, and do you want to
Yes.
announce? Yeah.
Okay. First things first, we are going to have uh, a draw today for a for an annual 2022 reading. So basically, it's what's coming your way in 2022. So there are going to be four lucky winners, two for me and two for Kathleen. And then we're going to do that throughout the show because we understand that at the beginning, people may not be not everyone is into journaling and doing workbooks for shadows and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's very great. The other thing too that we want to chat about are as part of the 20 preparing for 2022. Um, we were able to get in contact with someone. Her name is Shelley, and I think she works with another lady named Michelle from Holistic Lifestyle Guide. And her Etsy shop is Holistic Life Guide 101. And she has amazing workbooks, amazing workshops that are free on her website. Her website is Holistic Life Guide
I think it's holistic life.
holisticlifestyleguide.com. That's her website. Holistic Life Guide, lifestyleguide.com. I'm so sorry. And her shop,
Holistic. Okay. Holisticlifestyleguide.com. Is that it?
that's the one.
Okay. Okay.
And
And
her Etsy shop is Holistic Lifestyle 101.
I love her Etsy shop name. I think that's cute.
Me too. Me too. And there are three workbooks that she has so many things, but we try to stick with how to prepare for the year 2022. And there is a selfish purpose to this. I have to be honest with you. I'm struggling with planning 2022 because 2021 was not so well planned for me, and I
Me
want to
too.
change that. Yeah. And I'm very picky. I want this, I want that, I don't want this, I don't want that in my planner slash diary slash journal slash grimoire slash because it's one big thing that I need to carry around with me.
Right.
Hi, Dean. Hi,
Hello.
Kiba, Ron, Gina. Thank you for coming. So the one workbook did you the one workbook that she has is um, your life purpose. That is one of the workbook. The printout comes in 8.5 by 11. That's just me again being picky and wanting it on half page size because my planner, and that's something that I'm going to carry with me, and I wanted it half page size. But in this workbook, there are things that helps you assess your values, how you want to help the world, because this one is a life purpose one. So how you want to help the world, um, journaling prompts, things that you're good at, um, and many different journaling prompts like if you only had 1 year to live, how would you spend that year? What are some activities you are doing when time seems to fly by? If you had to give a speech without preparing, just going by what you know off the top of your head, what would you talk about?
Yeah, that's a good one. Because I
Exactly.
mean, so many times that people come up to me and it's like, I'm trying to tell them how important journaling is and why those prompts can be so helpful and blah 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 blah, and they're like, I'm not into it. I just don't want to do it, and that's fine. But the way I look at it is, if you are going to school to do something, you write and you learn it by writing it down and reading it and writing it down. And if you have problems with your emotions that have cost you, um, like being able to do things, or cost you being able to have any peace because it's always beating at you. If going back to elementary school and writing it down and writing it out and asking yourself questions and answering them and doing it in that manner helps. And I mean, basically, you don't have to pay anything extra. I mean, you could use a notebook if you had to, a notebook and a pen, but the journal just keeps it all organized for you, you know?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I really think that they've helped me so much.
Exactly. And, when we prepare for a new year to come in, where we can do that at any point within a year,
Mhm.
you prepare for the month, for the week ahead, the month ahead, the quarter. Like in business, we do that. So why don't we do
Mhm.
that in our own personal time?
Right.
Because we are even more important than a simple business, right?
Mhm.
So
Right.
evaluating the life that we have led in 2021 is very important so that in 2022 you can improve your life, you can achieve more. And the life purpose workbook, I chose that one because that is going to help me. I'm selecting that to help me prepare for the new year, look at look back, and then moving on into the next future, the next future, the future, what's going to happen. um
Hello,
yeah.
Stephanie D.
Hi, Stephanie.
That's awesome.
The other one that she gave us was the Holistic Health Lifestyle Planner,
Ooh.
and this one is about assessing. That's another thing that I'm going to use for 2022.
Mhm.
Assessing doing a mental assessment, physical assessment, and spiritual assessment. Who does
Yeah.
that?
Ding, ding, ding.
Who should do?
Nobody.
Everybody.
Everybody should. Everybody should.
Exactly. Exactly. So throughout this workbook, she's giving us some. She's helping us put in order what we need to work on, and she's making suggestions as to how we can we can work on that. She also has a blank weekly planner, daily planner, and monthly planner. So those, like I said, those are printed on like 2 page on 1 page, but normally it would be 8.5 by 11. And she has a lot. If you go on her website, holistiklifestyleguide.com,
Mm-hmm.
she has a lot of freebies, a lot of freebie workbook. She has an ebook, and she has a lot of articles, a lot of blogs on her website. Who does meditation here? Does anyone do meditation? I should do more.
Anybody else besides me? Am I alone in the chat? Come
Is
on.
everybody going already? Oh my
Well,
God.
there's
Ouch.
there's 9 people here.
Okay.
I'm not the only one who meditates. Surely, out of that, me and 9 people would be 10. Oh
Yeah,
Lord,
me as well. Not as much as I should, but that's a new year. You do them. Okay. Well, she has another workbook which is on meditation, but one thing that she does is help us analyze what our meditation is like. So,
hmm.
following a specific meditation, she proposes different ones, and she's asking, like, what's your medication, what song you used, or what kind of sound, music, and things like that, and
Hmm.
what was the outcome of that meditation. Do we
That's
do our
interesting.
meditation right? Not always. Not
Yeah.
always. She's also talking about mindfulness meditation, driving meditation instruction. So, how about
Oh,
meditating when
on
you're
a long
driving?
straight on a long straight road, just going, and it's like you check out, but you're still you're still in the driver's seat, actually.
Yeah,
And that's an interesting concept. It's like where you're aware, but your mind is elsewhere. But I don't know that I would actually drive on a long straight road and do that, because but I like the um analogy of a long straight road, and so you know everything that's going on around you, and yet you're you're in a meditative state. That would
that's
be
right.
a cool one.
That's right. So she's talking about brainwave entrainment, imagery, guided meditation, nature meditation. So, and then a tracking or meditation tracking log. And I thought that was interesting to do an assessment on our meditation. I never
Yeah, I
thought of
never even
it.
thought of that. I
And that
never.
makes so much sense. Me being
Yeah.
an analytical person, I should do that so I can choose the right meditation for the right thing.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, so
I never. I thought that if you're doing one type of meditation, you should just stick with it. And so having all those listed, I mean, you could get into several of them, and get comfortable doing all of them, and then pick whatever you need for the moment. And that's brilliant.
it
You know,
is. It is. So
I
we're
was
not
just
getting,
stuck.
yeah, go
I was
ahead.
just stuck. It was like I was just, an old turtle being
Yeah,
very, okay, I'm here and I don't need to go anywhere else. And so, I mean, that's what I like about the journals and stuff is it it's the prompts and everything are just expanding your mind, you know?
yeah,
And so, I love these prompts and things. And if you don't have if you can't afford, if you can only afford a notebook and pen, you can go to like the Light Sears website, and she has all kinds of things on each um, card at the Light Sears website that has an affirmation and a series of questions about you and your situation, but it's also on that card. So it's like you get a deeper thought process on a, you know on the card, but you get a deeper process on your life. And
Right.
so yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, these things, the journals I've got.
Just before we go on, I just want to say we're not being sponsored by this, by a holistic lifestyle guide or holistic lifestyle 101. We're not getting paid for it. I approached her and she was very generous in sharing the workbooks with us, but we're
Right.
not being paid in any way, shape, or form. This is not an infomercial. This is just to help us get started into 2022, just so you know. Go
Mm-hmm.
ahead.
Well, like
Sorry.
this one, the journey is the adventure, and then I proceeded to put all kinds of pasted things.
Nice.
And I just wrote a saying, or I just thought up a saying, and I just put stuff all over it. And I even well, see what I'm trying to say. You don't have to write a book um about what's going on. You can do pictures and a few words, and then so that you can come back and pick up that book to review, and immediately that picture brings to mind what was going on. And
Yeah,
you know or that phrase brings to mind what was going on in the picture is a soothing part of it, or anything like that. It's you know we use these journals for recording our tarot readings, and for getting into our own our own selves. And we use these books for planning our business, planning our day. And we use these books. I mean, it's like the Grimoire is like it's like your one-stop shop for all the very, very pertinent information that you got from other books and other things. So you know these things can be so they're so inexpensive. This thing cost me like $7, and I I got a lot of the stickers and all that kind of stuff on sale. So it was, all in all, I spent about $20. That's including pins, and yet I gained so much because it gave me a focal point for my journey about trying to figure out my triggers, trying to figure out, just my mental health, as well as trying to figure out. I got other ones for trying to um, do deep dives into the cards about um, these health these mental triggers, and what what can make you, the shadow readings, everything like that. I've got multiple things open because of I want it to be, you know, I'm kind of stupid for that. I want all of this, like shadow reading stuff. I want it here, and then um, just learning the tarot. I want that here, and then the blah blah blah. I want that here. So um,
Yeah, I know.
I'm kind of.
I'll
I'm
be
not gonna
right
say
back.
I'm.
I'll be right back.
Okay, but um, in the tarot, we have so much to learn. I mean, I love that because each time you do it, you grasp another thing, and the elements tell you so much about the cards, and you're journaling through that too. So it's like, you know, really think that the creativity that you gain by writing things down, the creativity, the being put into a creative space helps you to get into a learning space with either your own emotions or learning the tarot. Okay, I talked for a while.
Okay,
And
I'm sorry.
I'm going to go blow my nose, okay? I've
Okay,
got
you go
that.
right ahead. We're talking about journaling and sometimes using prompts, sometimes not. I have here my 2017 bullet journal, and I'm not an artist in any way, shape, or form, but I do my the best my best journals where it was the most therapeutic for me was by drawing. And here I had like my waist loss thing. And in this journal, and this is something that you would find on Pinterest, this was really big for me. At first, all I was seeing was this skinny person coming out of this overweight person. I got a bariatric surgery, and all I could see was still this overweight person. I never realized that this image, and I'm looking at it now because I have a better self-esteem and I better appreciate myself. This image represents, this is how you
Chrissy's
see
here.
yourself. Hi, Chrissy. Hi. This is how you see yourself, but this is how you really are. You're this
Uh,
beautiful person.
Hello. Yes, I can
Hi.
relate to that one. Hi.
How
You
are you
guys are
doing?
all cracking up, and I'm into cooler.
Uh, yeah,
How are
we're
you?
bundled up, and you're got on a swimsuit.
Well, not
Yeah,
quite,
we
but
got
yeah. I hope everyone had a
on.
lovely Thanksgiving Day, and yeah. So I really hope you all enjoyed your Thanksgiving and stuff, and
We did.
in the US,
We had a pretty
and
good one. I wish I
yeah.
would have had your recipe though, and I would have had all the
Oh, the
stuff for it because that
spaghetti.
sounded great.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. I do have to send that to you. You can try it. You can try it at Christmas.
Yeah,
I will
yeah.
send it. I will send it. Yeah, I might even just it's a simple thing. So yeah, and yeah, the amount of wine you put in it is dependent on your taste, I guess. But yeah, it's a good one for people who like something but that isn't too sweet. So it's like yeah. It Yeah, I was just listening to the holistic lifestyle and all that. Myself, I love the idea of journaling and all that
Mhm.
and visioning things and putting drawings down. I'm just totally crap at it. I really am. I'm
Well,
so
yeah.
bad at it. And I'm the sort of thing I'll sit down and just on the odd occasion I'll just sit down and write something out. Like I was feeling quite frustrated the other day. So I went onto a Facebook. I was gonna I wrote a post out for a Facebook group, but I didn't post it because what it was like I was sharing the frustrations of the day with this group, but I didn't post it because I didn't really want, that insight into my life made public or whatever. But I felt so much better after doing it. And by not posting it, but I was still
just by getting it out.
Yeah. But I am a totally crap journaler, but I'm always grabbing pictures of this, that, or the other and just having them aside. And when I do something, I've always got these things set aside to go in and grab and look at. And, especially if I know I'm going to be working on something in the future, I will go and grab images and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
But, as for journaling, daily journaling, I'm just so crap at it.
Well, I mean, what I done about making myself better at it is I tell myself I'm going to write something, just write something weekly. Just something. And usually somebody will hack me off, and either in my family or whatever. And I write it all out, and then I discover my triggers. I mean, some of it is just because, it would make anybody angry, but sometimes it just makes me angry because it's not anything, anyone else would probably even really get mad about. They might be irritated, but it touched one of my triggers. Yeah. And so that's the thing. I go into like, okay, why did you do it? Why did you get so angry? Blah, 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 blah. And I go down a rabbit hole. But like you said, it's like when at the end of it, you feel so much better. And there are some things that I have torn out of my journal and ripped up and burned because they were that I needed to release them. So I think we should maybe not make it so formal.
That's right. Because I just saw something in my journal. And I'm like, should I show it? Should I not show it? No, I don't think I will show it. But at the time, it's pretty bad. But I look at it now, it's funny. At the time, it wasn't. It really definitely wasn't. But that's the journal from 2017. Yeah, that's my journal from 2017. This one is 2016. And it was pretty bad. Like, it's a drawing that I made of myself because I was tired of going to the doctor's office for bladder infection. And they had to, anyway. So I made a drawing of that. And it's not pretty. And I look at it now and I remember being very, it was tough. But now I look at it and it's just funny. And here's another thing that I've put in my journal. It's drawing made by my goddaughter.
That's so sweet.
It's like
a big hug. It's just like a big loving hug.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's like if I wanted to feel that warmth and love, that's something I would go and look at any time. It's like I could look at that picture at any time and just feel a big hug.
Yeah. I know. And there are things I'm looking at this one here now. And this one is 2016. And what I did, that was just a day timer. And I just drew about my week on my day timer. That's all you need to do. And, make it simple. Keep it simple.
I guess I'm used to, when I was working in the office for so many years, we'd have the calendars given to us, the diaries given to us every year with a week to a day or a week to a page, that sort of thing. And you'd write down the things for the day and stuff. And so I got used to it on a daily basis and stuff. But still, personal journalism, it's just something I've never been able to get into. But it's like, geez, if I had gotten into it, all of the it'd be something pretty interesting, I think. but I think my
Well,
memories are enough for the story.
I know
yeah,
it's you
yeah,
know
I get.
Some people write down some things because they want to remember them and stuff. It's
for
getting a
me it's
little
mostly
slow with age.
therapy.
I've got my family of friends, my husband and my friends, and some of my family told me I've got freaky recall, and I can go and recall incidences from years and years and years ago, or facts or things like that. And I guess it's like I journal it all away in my brain. And for me, it's just can
Right.
be pretty easy to go out and get all the details and all
Yeah.
that. Yeah, or the main pertinent points. So it's like I can go and revisit them. I don't know whether that's why I've never been a journaler or not, but I really am. I'm not that disciplined enough to sit down and write every day, or even when I'm sitting there thinking something through. But I have sat down at times and got an idea in my head, and then out will come the phone, and I'm typing in all these notes. I did that so I'm more of a spontaneous person to write things down, and like you know, I had that happen with with my first master's degree, where I suddenly got the idea of the flow diagram to explain the proposed process. And it just suddenly came in and sat down and went, yeah. And then I got the idea of doing a presentation paper out of the blue. And I grabbed my phone and I typed all in the pertinent things, and then went and saw my supervisor at work and said, what do you think about me working on this and submitting it? So that's the sort of thing. I'm more of a spontaneous ideas
Right.
person than my everyday life or thoughts person. So
I'm not. It's like if nothing is going on, nothing spectacular, nothing horrible, nothing. If it's just like average everyday things, I have trouble concentrating on. I had a brain injury, so I have trouble concentrating on my thing. So I putting the planner part into it so that I use the planner part, and then I can refer to the diary or journaling part, I think would be the best use for me, because I could flip back and forth between the two. And
Yeah.
that's the thing with this journal this lady let us use, is the prompts and everything would help with the journaling. But if you've got a printout and you're printing it for yourself to put in to a little ring binder, or like that, the spiral thing, or whatever, it with the monthly prompts of just an appointment book, it just seems like it would work better for me, until I understood that you can have a planner and a journal together. I was really, because I don't in a year's time use up an entire journal,
Yeah.
about everything.
And that's where that's why I'm making my own journal, because I've gotten undisciplined, and it's it's not easy to concentrate, like you said. And what I did is for 2022 is I found a website where I could download this journal. It's an Excel an Excel file. And then on the other side, I made myself a little something here where I can have, like, my reading of the week, what my monthly goal for that month is, and what tasks this week to reach my goal, but also gratitude.
Oh yeah, gratitude.
Gratitude is, and I did the same thing for the month. I have like my monthly here, and here I have my SMART goal, and then reflection on the following month. So if I can do that on a weekly basis, I know that these will fill up eventually. And those are for my appointments,
Mm.
but so is the calendar here. And I'm just going to draw over it, or put stickers or draw, like, if I see something that is interesting to me, because that's what I used to do, I would, paste it in my journal. And that's what I'm going to do. But the thing also with bullet journaling is like, you have those darn spreads that you need to put together. Those take a heck of a lot of time.
Mm.
I'll
So
show you that. Like,
it takes a lot of time.
Mm.
Let's see.
So that's why I moved away from it, and then I moved away from everything. And
Journaling with the different readings you did on the spread, yeah. Mm.
That was a spread I was trying to make up, and it's a good one, but I know what you're saying, but I do love this tarot journal by Labyrinthos, but it was costly. It's got everything, and it's got places to make up your own spreads, and it's got you can keep everything together. That's that. And I really
that's what binders are for.
That's what that is what desks and side tables and chairs are for. Okay.
That's why I'm doing it. I'm making my own, because I'm gonna use binder rings.
I'm the true absent-minded professor. I have papers everywhere here. It's like
okay.
I've got papers on things on symbology. I've got papers on geography. I've got papers on spatial stuff. Papers everywhere.
Chrissy, we should do a show. We should do a show with all three of us together, and we name it Mad Madam Mim.
What?
With the hair?
Oh, no, not with the hair. With the
it's the hair. With everything and glasses.
Because I mean, it's like,
the respectable respectables.
Yes.
Another,
or the disrespectful respectables.
There you go. The disrespectable respectables. Yeah.
We've got like three very different type of journalists. You are very much, most days, if not all, but with some gaps for Sophie, you are, when you remember it, more like than any set timetable. Is that correct, Katie?
Right.
I'm just like, sometimes I think, I should write that down. It's like, for me, it's very much on the spot and spontaneous. And I remember a few weeks ago when I was trying to figure out how to do a reading, I thought, well, no, I'll just do it all. And I wrote it out in my book or on the paper. I don't know if you guys remember that. And then I did it up properly and posted it. But it's like, I have my little notebook for writing notes when I'm reading, and this will be like writing notes for what I want to read on, get an appointment, write it in this notebook. So everything's in this little notebook.
That's more like me now.
Yeah. And lovely hubby is like, this is from last year. Lovely hubby gets me a new one every year as part of my Christmas gift. So but it took me ages to get into doing it. But just if I want to read on this, but half the time the notebook's not at hand, so I'll write it down on a scrap of paper.
Right.
Yeah. So I'll write it anywhere. I'm like that detective who always forgets their notebook, and they're always writing their notes and everything on different pieces of paper, and then they've got to figure it out from chocolate
Well,
wrappers and receipts.
that's
And
that's a problem I have. That's why I'm going to use the binder things this year. I'm going to try anyway because I do that all the time. It's all over the place, and I lose it. So no binders from now on.
like the other
Boundaries
day,
from now on.
I read
Yeah.
something about one of the dates. So I read about the numbers associated with dates and all that. So I went through the whole of December and wrote down the different connotations and what numbers are derived from the different connotations.
Oh, cool.
That
And
is
that's
so
the
cool.
sort of thing I do, you know. I'm like, oh, okay. So, but I'll write on whatever's handy, really, except for bills and all that. I'm not as bad as James, who really will write on it.
But
But
is that a catch-all notebook, or is it specific to the work that you do with tarot and things like that?
well, mostly it's tarot, but sometimes if I'm talking or I've got to write, I've got an appointment, so I'll write a note about it in here. So,
Okay.
mainly it's like with, better write down this appointment thing so I can do it, or I've got some details like on a couple of things that I need to remember. So I know where this book is all the time. So those things I need to remember, I have like in the front cover of the book and all that. So yeah, but otherwise, yeah, it's not a journal as such. It's just like I've got here like for Tuesday, the 10th of the 8th. What do I want to read on? Greece, will there be an end to the fires soon? Fires in the western US indict young something for something. I can't read my writing. Trump org, Nancy Pelosi, Moscow Mitch, I think. You know, Jeffrey Clark, things like that. So, I'm going to read on this, or the Senate probe in Georgia, or things like that. So I'll write those down. And of course, when I'm on, people ask me questions, I'll write the questions in there. But yeah, it's just, so mainly it's what I'm going to write on or read on or whatever. But but sometimes it becomes a catch-all for everything, you know. So
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Very
We have an important question in the chat. They're talking about pie. You know, so pie needs to, so somebody had a special pie today, and I really want to know what, I mean, if it was just pumpkin or apple, well, they're good. But I'm really kind of curious about the pie. They're talking about pie. These things catch my eye.
What is that pie, people?
Oh, Jean M. All right. need 7 more subscribers to reach 500.
Oh, get the bed. Get it there. You get Katie to 500. I've got a 15-minute Zoom session. We'll organise a 15-minute Zoom session for one of the subscribers. How's that?
Thank you.
So, yeah. If you want to, I don't know, maybe put a comment on this one. Is this on your channel, Katie? So
yeah,
if you're interested, put a comment at the end of it or something, and and we'll organise a 15-minute Zoom session.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
How are you going?
75 to get to 1,000.
Yeah.
Okay. You too.
I'll have to start
another
doing
75
YouTube.
to get to 1,000. So we'll get Katie to 1,000, to 500, and Sophie to 1,000, and
No. I need to start putting. I need to work on. I'm not posting regularly lately, so in the new year it's going to come, and then I'll be able to try to push for it. But to me, what's important is to have fun. So.
Oh yeah, I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Do you want to give away some of the
yes.
readings?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you
How
first?
are we going to do that?
Well,
it doesn't
matter. We can do maybe 2 now.
Okay.
You think of a number, I think of a number. How many people do we have on?
Looks like 16.
Okay.
16
So,
folks.
number between 50 and 75 for me.
50
Okay.
and 75.
Between 75 and 100 for me.
Okay, and between 1 and 50 for me.
Oh, thank
You're
you.
doing one too? You don't
I'll
have
do one too. Yep, I'll do
Oh,
one
thank
too.
you.
So start
Okay.
posting a number.
That'll be an email one. So I'll send like 3 cards in an email. Okay. Not a card in an email. So.
Renee Rogers, I got you. 55. So I got Renee. If you would email me, please.
And then we do.
We'll do another draw. The other draw.
Now mine's from 75 to 100, and Chrissy's is what, from 1 to 50?
1 to 50, and flowing the first one in with the number between the two. So flowing, I'll send you send me an email at footprinttarot@gmail.com, and I will send you a 3-card oracle deck reading. So yeah.
Thank you so much.
And Lori, my number was 86, so Lori at 85. Lori Gilbert got it.
Cool stuff.
So,
woohoo!
Flowing
So
3-card
Lori
oracle
Gilbert.
reading.
So my email is bridalpooltarot@gmail.com. And one of the things, yeah.
Mine is KathleenJLightworker@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, if we get Katie to 500 subscribers, I will do a 15-minute Zoom face-to-face with somebody.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah. And I don't know how we'll do that, but we'll sort that out. But yeah.
One of the things that I wanted to mention, I forgot to mention just for the new year. I know I'm going back, but I think it's very important when preparing for the new year. Don't forget to look at the pyramid of Maslow to make sure that all of your basic needs are met.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't do, if your basic needs are not met, then
I have actually in my tarot
holistic
workbook.
lifestyle guide. I was hearing you talking about this holistic lifestyle guide, and and so I'm like, interested. And she's on it's Etsy as well. So
she's on Etsy, but she also has a lot of free things also on her website. On Etsy, the store is Holistic Lifestyle 101, and her website is holisticlifestyleguide.com. Oh,
Maslow's hierarchy.
Is that again that Labyrinthos diary?
Yes.
I want that diary. I really want it.
You can get it in a PDF to
and
print
put it
out
in my binder
for cheaper than you can get it. The solid thing. Yeah. And actually, I wish that I would have just went with the
inquisitive.
Oh, hello, Sheila.
Hi, Miss Charlotte. Hi,
Sheila.
Hi, Nigel. Hi, Marsha Green.
Hi.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's see what was it? What were we talking about?
The diary. Sorry.
It's okay. I've got enough sinus stuff going on
down here
that I lose the thread of the conversation very easily. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm about to get there. You know, one method of journaling is also just drawing.
Yeah.
And that's mindfulness at the same time.
It is.
I mean, I went through, I'm looking at my drawings now, and I was asked to describe myself. I put a flying dog in the sky. a person in sarcophagus to going to do the grocery shopping and in the middle of the ocean. That's kind of me. I'm kind of different. But, just doing things differently, it doesn't have to be only about writing. It can be anything you want. And drawing is very, very therapeutic, even if you don't know how to draw.
Mm.
So, yeah. Do you have a
Okay.
grimoire?
Do I have what?
A grimoire?
Well, it's just one of
It's
those.
books of knowledge where you put everything that you learn about divination, like let's say tarot and astrology. It's like a catch-all book for all that knowledge. No?
Yeah, but the in witchcraft, it was supposed to be a spell book and everything, but so I automatically just like turned away because I come from a deeply religious family. My
Mm.
mother was a Bible thumper, and so I didn't even consider it. But the just a place to put, to transcribe, to cut out and paste to whatever, like a recipe for a tea, herbal tea that you have found that is really calming and helps you meditate. Uh, um, you know, a form of meditation, which crystals you used, and they really seem to work. Because you have to understand, I have a brain injury, and so I will be thinking, "Oh, I'll never forget this. I'll never forget this. This is awesome. This works so well," and blah blah. And I'm sitting there trying to remember, and it's like, no, no.
Well,
You,
grimoire was, it was looked at that witchcraft, but actually it is a memory book. That's what it is.
yeah,
Mm.
That's
yeah.
what it is. And that's where I would put my cheat sheets, like for astrology, tarot,
Mhm.
colors, numerology, and things like that, and crystals. And that's something I'm adding to my binder. It really is catch-all.
The
I,
binder.
I, I do know I have one of the cheat sheets for tarot somewhere over there on the table about 2 or 3 meters away. Again, all over the place.
I know, that's my problem, and I can't find anything anymore.
But when I was studying, it's like this was I had a whiteboard here, and I've still got the stuff on it. I've got all the equations for like natural for like the normal difference vegetation index and the normal difference this index and building index and spatial autocorrelation, and I've got all these things written down here on the whiteboard.
That's
And,
what you are.
and I've got a mix of stuff all around me. Like I've got database management systems up there with the Art of Love Tarot and Steampunk Tarot, geographic information systems next to an beginning astrological card deck, all that sort of stuff.
There you go. That's your grimoire. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I am a total me, and I love it. I love it. I love being able to. One of the things I touch on quite often, as you probably would have seen, is I'll often be talking about something about, and I equate it to a geomorphological process, like a landslide or like the building up.
Yeah.
With La Palmas has come up a lot because it's building this island and it's creating this new surface. And when you're talking about destruction of the tower and stuff, so it's like, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But it all surrounds
Wow.
me, and it's like, yeah.
Well, I mean, that's almost like a storyboard for you.
It
I
is.
mean,
Yeah, but there's
know.
nothing to tarot on there. It's also got lots and lots of fridge magnets from some of our travels. So our previous travels.
But like That's what I had for a while, and I love it. I love that system, and that's basically where I put my, anything and everything that comes my way. The thing is, when I get an emergency call from my brother, I can't carry this easily around, right? So,
Right.
yeah, so that's why the binder. But that's what you do. I mean, do you do correlations between geography and the tarot cards, and
I
do
haven't
you?
done any scientific correlation between them, but yeah, you got me, piqued my interest.
Yeah.
I knew it. I knew it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
Uh,
yeah, and yeah, because there's the astrological bent to it. There's a bent in a nice way, of course, and yes, there is, because you're looking at elements. You're looking at
mhm.
earth,
Yeah.
wind, water, fire. All of those things shape the earth and shape the environment around us. So yeah, very much.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm very visual in
I am too.
a lot of things.
And
I
Sophie
mean,
is too.
yeah, and you know, as you know, I've done my six. I've got this 6-part course, and I use a lot of pictures. And I hate the ones where there's just a table there, the slides where there's just a table there. But there has to be just a table there, and I always want to add in pictures and stuff. But yeah, it's like I am very visual in a lot of things, and yeah, and I
Yeah.
really take my time thinking about what I want to say. I can spend a week thinking about what I want to say, and then sit down and write it all out in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It'll take me a week to think
Wow.
about what I want to say and how I put, or even how I want to set out a table to do something. And this is not just with tarot. This is with everything. I mull it over in my mind, and how am I going to present these findings in such a way that visually, you have to do visually, um, and I'll spend a week, and then I'll just sit down and do it. And hubby's like, you're always leaving things for the last minute. No, I'm getting it on the page at the last minute, but I've been thinking about it and writing notes about it and everything for the last 2 months.
Yeah, I'm like that. Yeah, it takes a
Yeah.
long
That's the
time
way I
to
am
figure
too.
it out, but once I figure it out, I fly through it. Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
might have had the structure down in PowerPoint or something and been slowly building and adding to it, but bringing it all together in that last successful thing, I'll be like in a rush the last 10 or 12 hours beforehand, just getting it all finalized and everything. But I might have been building it for a few months. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's not as rushed and as last minute as it seems with me, but it's pretty chaotic. Yeah. So, yeah, it's just.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah,
mean,
we all do journal in our own way, don't we? Some people
Yes,
just
we do. We
yeah.
do. We
some
figure
people
it's only writing in a book, but that's not what it is. It is whatever you make it to be.
Right.
somebody with
I
an
mean,
eidetic memory. mm, Somebody with an
Janet
eidetic
P made these.
memory might not need it. The spirit guides you.
Oh,
Where'd you get that one?
Yeah. Janet P made these for me. I gave a reading, um, uh, to Tarot Love Community, as for a raffle kind of type thing, and she won the reading, and then she gave me all these wonderful journals and things, like this one is my little book of pendulum readings.
oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, and the tarot I got in the bedroom because I'm doing my own personal self. But yeah, it was just so cool, and so that these journals are just for little um remembering things, just to remember things and to go on. It's not like I have to um discover what the meaning of life is in my writing and write a book. It's just, to nudge my
Yeah.
memory.
Mhm. Mhm.
Oh, I'm getting
Yeah.
ideas.
Okay,
Oh, you put me onto something. Good correlation. Oh,
I'm hearing all kinds of different things here and there and everywhere. This is what I'm doing, and I'm like, okay, I can do that. I can do that. Yeah, this binder is getting thick, but I can do it.
Tarot and geomorphological, or and even anthropogenic, because they're two different things. Geomorphological and natural processes on the landscape, but the anthropogenic are man's processes on the landscape and influences on the landscape. Geomorphological, and there I go using the big words, and and anthropogenic.
I looked up on the internet that, and you might be able
Influences.
to correct me if I'm wrong there, Chrissy, but
Mm.
I was wondering, are there more earthquakes than before? Are there more volcanoes than before? And what I got, and that was Google, okay, so I'm no specialist, neither is Google, but they say that no, there aren't any more than before. Am I correct? Are they
Well,
correct?
I'm not a seismologist or a volcanologist, but honestly, it's like they're being felt more.
Yeah.
Okay.
In Western Australia, we have 2,000 earthquakes a day, but we don't really feel them.
Right.
Okay, but one was a 5.9 was felt up in the Pilbara region. Sorry, I got the wrong region there. The other day, there's thousands of earthquakes in Australia a day, but it's only at this stage that we're feeling them more. So there is, it could be feeling them, and there are different types of earthquakes as well. You can have something called a compression earthquake, is where there's tension at the edge, because we're right in the middle of a plate here. We're not near any of the edges. The closest plate edge we have is at New Zealand, so you can imagine how far. So we don't get those plate tectonic things, but sometimes there's a bit of a release, and where the plate gets. Hang on, I won't use a card. I'll just use this. So say this is our continental plate, and this is the edge, and it gets pulled down a little bit, and we're sitting in the middle, and then there's a slight release. So the land here is being pulled down a bit, but when there's a slight release, it's like it bounces back up again. Okay. And that's, I think it's called a compression earthquake. I'm not 100% sure on that, so don't quote me, guys. But they've had some of those places like Townsville and Charters Towers. So there's different sorts. I think there is an increasing amount of activities, but as for the actual numbers, pretty much around the same. There's volcanoes formed every day that we don't know about because they're under the ocean. And of course, we've got, La Palmas. It was an active volcano, so there was, chances of it going off any day. So, there's an increase in activity in those areas.
Well, and some of those things are man-made as well, because I had never had a earthquake that I felt in my life, because I live in Oklahoma, the center of the United States, and they started fracking, and now there has been earthquakes that I have felt knock things down. There's been earthquakes that caused damage to buildings and stuff, and again, all this. Yeah,
I'm not, but it would seem there could be compression earthquakes, and the reason you wouldn't have felt them before was because of the cushioning effect of the liquids and the oils and everything that's in the ground, and as it's being drawn out, and as water tables are being drained, the absorption of those things maybe. But I'm not an expert on that. That's just something I could maybe see happening, but I could be totally wrong on that. So again, I'm not a psychologist and all that, but it's taken away some of those things that provide a buffer
Yeah.
some of
Yeah.
these.
Exactly.
So it could be a bounce back from activity at the edges of the thing, like we have here. But I don't know if that's the case there or not, because I'm not an expert on the results of fracking. But I can certainly understand why people don't want it.
Yeah.
Because, you know, there's something got to give, and you're taking something that is basically filling voids within in the earth's crust and in the soil and things like that. And
Yeah.
what's going to happen with those voids? They have to be filled in somehow. They're not
Yeah.
going to remain there. So,
Yeah. Is that about all the mining of the coals and things like that you're talking about, the void, or is it just a natural void?
things like fracking and emptying the water tables and things like that.
Oh,
Not so
okay.
much open cut mining and things like that. No.
Okay.
But,
Okay.
we're pretty strict here in Australia with what they have to do to rehabilitate sites, but there's still so many sites that are left over from way before those laws came in that are just toxic places that you can't
Yeah.
keep with. But they were remnants of before. The laws weren't retrospective in a lot of cases. When they came in and work was happening on a mine, yes, the laws would apply. Or maybe if you just shut down a mine, but they didn't apply for things 50 years ago and stuff like that.
Right.
So, but we have, a lot better laws on mine site rehabilitation and all that. But how do you rehabilitate a huge hole in the ground? You know, putting the soil back is just an impossible, you know.
Oh, some of it is so deep in the crust. I mean,
you're going deeper and deeper. It's not like you're working your way up from the bottom. It's like you're going deep, and you can put the wastage in the bottom as you work your way up. No, you're going deeper and deeper. So it's, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sophie, do you have a die, a four-sided die for our
I
political
do
question?
have a four-sided die with 16 numbers. Yes. No. Oops.
No, I mean, what are the triangle ones?
Okay.
I don't think I
don't have triangles, no, but that's okay. I have something I can work with.
Okay, I'm going to go
create
get
a
me some
random
more.
number. I can create a random number generator.
There you go. Hey, yeah, I'm gonna go get some more Kleenex so that when I sneeze the next time, I can, because my Kleenex box is empty. So I will be back, but I wanted to make sure you were all lined out before I went on my Kleenex search journey.
Okay, no problem.
See you soon.
See you soon. So I guess
What are we die for?
we're doing dice, roll of dice readings.
Okay.
So basically, I just need to write it down because I forget to. One is about the news. Two will be about entertainment.
Okay.
I'm making it up as I go along. So 3 is about mysteries.
Yeah.
And 4 is about celebrity, alive or dead.
Okay.
Is that okay, guys, or do you have another suggestion?
No, that's fine. I'm just trying to remember how to do this.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll the dice, and we're going to get a number between 1 and 4, and that's going to give us the category, and you guys need to give us a question.
Yeah.
So I'll roll the dice.
I'll leave you to roll the dice. It'll just take too long to do a random number generator. I'd have to look up to kind of remember how.
Oh, is there something like that? The number generator?
Yeah. You can use Excel to create one. Yeah, you can put in the numbers and then it will pick one at random, but you've got to put in a little, it's a way of doing it. But yeah, I'd have to go and look it up again.
I'll have to look that up. So number one.
I used one when I gave away some readings and I got everyone to comment, and I used one to first find out where to start looking, and then I used another one to determine what number comment. So, like for this one, I start at, and I did that each time. So for the first one, I said, all right, I'll start reading. I'll start at the third comment down, and then it generated like the number 5. So count 5 down from the third comment. And so comment number 8 was the comment. And then for the next reading, I do the same thing so that it might come up with comment number 1, but count 19 down or something like that. So it's a way of doing random sampling and things like that. Yeah.
I'll have to look that up. So we need a question on the news, guys. I know that there was something about the joy.
This was the only. This was the only Kleenex or tissue.
Hey, it'll be nice and soft on your nose, darling.
Yeah.
I usually, I've been misquoting a character from Matt Disavansky, a wonderful, wonderful comic and actress here in Australia, and she was in a show called Fast Forward, and she had this character called Tinel or something like that, and I misquoted by saying I said love, I said doll, I said doll, I said love, but it's not actually what she says. She says I said pet, I said love, I said pet, I said love. And I was just like thinking, pet, I say pet, it'll soften your nose. So, yeah. But yeah, I saw that and I just immediately thought of this character. I said pet, I said love, I said love, I said pet. Why buy tissues? Why buy boxes of tissues when you can just use a loo roll? You know? Mind you, she's a horrible character. She's like on the phone and it's like, look, I told you I would be busy today and that you would just have to schedule it around my timetable. And then she hangs up. And her friend says, oh, was that your daughter? She says, yes, the baby's on its way. So just joy, news story, okay? Just joy, hey? Let's have a look.
Well, I just suggested the joy. Does anyone else have a question that they would like to have that could be maybe a happy news or something they'd like to know?
The joy being on the way out, that is happy news. I mean, honestly, it's, okay, what did we...
when will the media stop scaring people? That's a good question.
That is a very good question.
That is a good question.
Good question.
That is very good.
Charlotte, what a great question. And they do. They do. Honestly, how far would Trump have gotten if the media had just not bothered covering him? But they felt they had to because he was the president or a presidential candidate. So when will the media stop scaring people?
Well, I mean, I don't know. It's like Fox News goes so far one way, the other side tries to go the other way, and it's making everybody. What they don't understand is that the Fox News people won't watch anything else anyway. I mean, I go through CNN, MSNBC, CBS, NBC. I go through all of them finding whenever I hear an odd story, I look at other venues and I research it and try to figure out what actually happened because the news wants sensationalism. God, I sound like a 3-year-old. Sensationalism.
Well, I've drawn 3 cards on it, and this applies to the media in general. And it's like, got the wheel here, and this can indicate change, right? It can be a card of change, but it also indicates perpetual motion. It is a perpetual cycle. It's a cycle that keeps going and keeps going. And honestly, as much as you'd like them to stop, they won't do it because of the money they make, the investments that's been put into it. They have to attract advertisers for revenue streams and income. And one of the ways is to sensationalize stories on their news to get people to watch. So it is a pattern that is well established, and it's a pattern in which they can sit pretty. So this is the card of sitting pretty, and they have basically autonomy over how they do that. So they're the ones who make the decision on how they're going to cover it. Nobody else can tell them about it, how to do that, unless they're telling flat out lies. And and of course they do it to attract resources. This is the Queen of Pentacles. It's the card of resources to attract advertisers. So it's something that's just a perpetual cycle that repeats itself and repeats itself. And it's not going to end anytime soon. So
Yeah.
I wish I could say different.
I got, it's ridiculous because they have plenty of grief to report. It's not like they have to sensationalize it because the natural process of things makes it to where that there is enough bad news, but they are so caught up in the sensationalism. They do not. It's like they have imprisoned themselves. The one thing that is at the core is money. They are in a constant competition for the most, the most successful story and the most, really, needed story. But right now they're in a catch-22. They have it's kind of like the system of doing this is kind of like they stab themselves in the back because of the way that all of the misinformation and all of the stuff that's going around. I think that eventually it will. Let me grab my cards. Yeah, they confuse themselves because all of a sudden they're seeing that putting a spin on a story, the damage it can actually do to an entire society has been, and they're wanting to go back to a time when it wasn't like this. But even the powers that be, even the money hungry media realizes that there is a problem and they have to figure out what to do. They don't want to lose any autonomy, but at the same time they see that this thing, I guess Fox News has gotten so big and everything, they see just what kinds of damage to the society this misinformation can do. So it's not going to end soon, but now I think even the media itself sees that
Well,
some of this is too much.
they do, and I drew another card here on what you were talking about, on the changes they know need to happen, and it is something they really know they need to address before changes are forced upon them by legal means. You know, Fox News is facing a lot of challenges from the different governments.
Yes.
I
got my card.
Yeah, Sophie?
Oh, did you go? I thought you had gone. Did you?
I've got another line here, but it's on.
Oh, go for it. Go for it.
Okay, the second line, and I've used the Light Years deck here too, is on what you can do to you know, ease the stress that these things are. Firstly, gather your resources. You don't have to just rely on one resource from your news. Have a look around. Hubby and I were really getting tired of just seeing news from 2 or 3 different sources. So we had a look at how different news organisations around the world looked at different stories. And it's very interesting. So look at things like DW is one that are really good and really balanced, you know, and things like that. So look for some different sources, whether they're online or news stations. So, you know, you have more resources there to help you discern what the truth is than you realise. So gather them around you. Make a commitment to yourself and to others that you're not going to be tied to the news. So break that bond that a lot of people have with the news, is that they have to know what's going on. No, you don't always have to. Give yourself a break from it now and then, you know. And also, if you're just thinking enough with these people, stop watching. Ratings go down, they lose advertisers. And here's the Queen again, the advertisers, the resources, where they get their money from, advertisers and stuff. So stop watching, turn off. They'll lose advertisers and stuff. So you have that power. This is the power of you to affect their income by just switching off and saying, enough is enough. I'm not going to watch you again and tell you in truth, until you start doing things more fairly, more balanced. You know?
Right.
Because unless they're forced to by government change, they're just going to keep repeating the pattern, because it is one that gives them pretty well autonomy. So, yeah.
Yeah. The emperor fell off, and I feel like the emperor is daddy right now, telling the fool, careful, be careful. You know, you're going on a journey here, but be careful because you might fall off.
Yep.
So just be careful. But I feel that I'm going by the imagery here, and it's the King of Sword right side up. But I think that it is very cutthroat. It's a cutthroat business, but it has also gotten involved with the politics. They're reporting on politics, but politics also owns them. It owns the news business. And it is manipulating the news business in ways that is, bring people to their knees. And it's all about money. So this is no longer a news business. It is a money-making business. It is no longer journalism, but it is entertainment. And at the back of the pack, I got the 8 of Pentacles upside down. So we need to switch it to be more balanced, okay? So upside down, you see that this guy is very sloppy at learning his trade, and we need to change how we're going to how people are learning their to be a journalist, the trade of journalism. And right now they have turned it into sensationalism, and it's not doing anything good. So we need to turn it around so that it can be more positive. We need to go back to square one. We need to go to where, going back to the emperor and daddy and the fool, we need to go back to square one and learn the right way how to be good journalists and follow guidelines to um, get to a point where it is going to be reporting the news and no longer commenting the news and scaring people off. When is that going to happen? No idea.
Yeah, I really felt it was no time soon, but it's like all of a sudden everybody, the powers that be, realize that something has got to change because this
They
is
will be
getting,
forced to otherwise.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's just interesting that comment about politics influencing news. It's always been the way. It's as long as there's been media out there for people to read on their own and comment, politics have tried to influence it, because as books became more and more common and ideas spread and spread, those the spheres of influence and power that were limited to just a few, and as reading and writing was expanded upon, and then people could read, more people could read and write, but still getting books and getting things like newspaper was still pretty scarce. But then mass printing, the printing press came along, and that meant mass production and all that. And with each of these new steps, there were always these people who were in control of things before trying to keep a grasp on the power and influence the way in which news and ideas were disseminated. So it's nothing new. Yeah.
No, but I think that now they not only influence the news, they own it. They own it. I mean, if I look at CNN, I listen to too much CNN, and that's why my TV is never on anymore. But I should be between CNN and CNN International. Really, I should focus on CNN International.
It's much better.
CNN is only about the US, and there's nothing existing outside of the US. When you look outside the US, there are a lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff.
Yeah, and their take on things in America is different too from just straight out CNN. I watch some CNN and not a lot. For the news things, I mainly watch MSNBC, but I watch CNN. But if I want more balance from CNN, I will go to the CNN International and stuff.
I'm going to cancel CNN. That's it, folks. No more CNN.
I just watch it on YouTube. So
there you go.
That's what I do too. I watch it on YouTube.
That way you don't have to pay for it, and it's like and that's the other thing you can do. If they're cable news service, and if cancel your subscription, don't lose out there. Yeah, do things like that. The power is within you to withhold your resources.
Yeah, exactly.
The ratings that they get or lost subscription, it will affect them. It will affect their bottom line. So that difference between the two queens, that they were both the Queen of Pentacles, but the difference was one was all about her chin was lifted up and she was exerting her power over what happened to that resources, rather than this one who giving resources to as part of the deal, advertising and stuff like that.
Yeah. Thank you, Marcia. You're very welcome. It's a treat for us as well. Shall we do the second drug, Katie?
Yeah,
sure.
So this time you pick the numbers. Chrissey, pick the numbers for us.
Well, okay. 50 to 100. 50 to 99.
50 to 99.
Okay, and I'm picking a number this time rather than first in, first served, and whoever gets closest to it will get it. Okay, I'm going to write the number down.
We need 2 numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, write it down. Write down everybody's number.
Hold on, guys. Hold on.
So if you want a 3-card oracle reading by email from me, yeah.
Oh, okay. So 50 to 100 for you. I'll go 1 to 50.
And I'll go 100 to 150.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
$34, $67, $1, $2, $3. Much lower, guys, for me anyway.
Okay.
That's funny. Much lower for me. Much lower than Stephanie. Okay.
Actually,
Yeah.
Actually,
Miss Charlotte, yeah, go ahead.
Miss Charlotte was, she said 1, 2, 3, and I have 122.
Mm-hmm.
And so Miss Charlotte's actually was the winner for me.
Tracy Ralph nailed it on the head for me.
She
76. I wrote
Who?
down 76. Tracy Ralph.
Okay. Miss Charlotte was for me as well, but Lori Gilbert is the closest one as well. So
Mm-hmm.
cool.
So, Tracy Ralph, if you email me, it's at footprinttarot@gmail.com. Footprint tarot, all one word, @gmail.com. And I will then email you back within the next few days a 3-card oracle reading. Okay. Oracle
And
card.
Lori Gilbert, number 1. It was number 1, but Miss Charlotte got to Katie's number first. So you are the closest one. So Lori Gilbert, if you could email me at
Oh, wow.
rightopaltarot@gmail.com.
Lori Gilbert one from me and one from you. Because she's on fire. Maybe
She was your first winner?
Yes. Maybe instead of me giving your reading, I could do a shadow reading, or I could do some other kind of reading, and you can do a year-end reading.
Okay. Are
So
you
are
okay?
we going to do another one of these a little bit later, or just the 2?
We're just let's see, we said we would do 2 apiece. So and we did, this will be 2. So this is the end of.
Yeah. Okay. So flowing, if you can email me and Tracy Ralph, and it's a 3-card oracle card reading. Okay.
Well, Lori Gilbert and Miss Charlotte, if you will email me at KathleenJLightworker@gmail.com, I will set up, and we can do it either via Zoom or via actually StreamYard. I can save it to my YouTube unlisted list, my it's like it's not public, and then you can view it, go back and view it anytime you want to. But yeah, so okay.
Lori, Miss
Well,
Charlotte,
I
and
feel
Renee.
whoopee.
Gina M, hang in there, keep trying. I'm sure you'll get one sometime. Gina M was like a big hello to Gina M. I can see her. She's going, this number. Big kiss and hug to you, darling. You'll get there. Keep trying. Okay. So yeah. Subscribe to Katie's channel. She needs 6 more to get to 500.
Oh wow!
And Sophie needs 75 more to 1,000. So subscribe to these lovely ladies, and you never know.
Did you get to 500?
Not yet. She's got 6
no,
more
not
to go.
yet. I'm 6
Okay.
away. Are you 75 away from 1,000, Sophie?
Oh no, 475.
475. So you passed 500.
I'm past my
Yes.
500. I'm past my goal of 100.
Oh wow.
That was my goal. So I'm very happy. But the more the merrier.
I'll tell you what, I'm edging towards 2,000. I'm like 1,780. So yeah. So
well,
yeah.
Hey, we could come up whenever you're getting close. We could come in and do a thing for readings for you and pump you up.
Thank you, darling. Yeah. But yeah, I just my hubby's like, how many people are watching? I'm like, I don't know, because I don't really watch. And it's like, but yeah, I do know. Yeah, I've been sitting around 1,780 for a while. So I want to edge towards the 2,000, just nice round numbers.
Yeah.
Anyway, what are we doing next? You going to throw the dice again?
Okay, yeah. I've lost my die. Where is my die? Oh, here it is.
I got it.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. 2, entertainment.
Entertainment.
What I want to know is, but that's just me. We had a thing on Facebook today about one of our rugby league players, and he posted a picture of himself and his best mate for 25 years, right?
Who is that?
One of our rugby league players.
Okay.
Very talented rugby. And he posted, and everyone wanted to demand, did he post this picture because he was gay and this was his boyfriend or whatever? And he had to come, he felt like I had to come out and answer this. No, I'm not. He's my best mate. And I'm like, why the hell should he even have to answer? Why should it matter? You know?
Exactly.
But we'll take something from the comments. I just thought it just came up this morning, and I'm like, why would it matter?
Yeah.
You know? That's not the issue here. The issue here is why people feel that he's answerable to them for this photo, that he owes them an explanation. He's not hurting anyone in the photo. He's not breaking the law in the photo. So why do they feel that, you know, so this degree of ownership over people and wanting them to explain everything is a bit disturbing. But anyway, what's in here? What was up with Meghan M being on the Ellen DeGeneres show? It was odd. What's she up to? Meghan Markle.
What did she do, Gina M? Oh, you never saw it? Do we want
No, I don't watch Ellen DeGeneres. I used to watch her show, her sitcom, and quite enjoyed it, but I was never comfortable with her talk show for some reason. So it's like, it sounds like she's bouncing back a bit from all the bad publicity she got from being a bit of a tyrant. But yeah. So Meghan M.
Meghan surprises. Okay, let me see here. Meghan surprises the Ellen DeGeneres show. becoming a member of the royal family, but it doesn't say anything else. Hold on one sec. I'll try to figure it out.
I don't know if you're interested. Miss Charlotte says, I don't know if you're interested in this, but I really hope Johnny Depp comes out of the rut he's in with his ex-wife. She accused him of all kinds of abuse and everything, and he's had to fight all that. And I feel so bad for him because he actually, had documentation of where she had abused him, but she said that because she was a woman, that she would get away with this and ruin him and stuff. And I just think it's I don't know.
Well,
it's sad.
The partners have come out and said I don't know, that they didn't really have much cause for that to feel any danger from him or anything like that. But some people, you get in a relationship with some people and it's just toxic, and you would do things you wouldn't other, and it's toxic on both sides, and it's just and and you might end up, oh my God, I've never done this before with anyone, why am I doing this with you? Or I've never grabbed somebody's arm before in a relationship, why am I grabbing an arm? Or why, or why, whatever side it is, and that's just the level of toxicity in the relationship. And it's just like, so I don't know the rights or wrongs of it, I won't get into it, but so some people, the combination is just a toxic one, and some people are just toxic. I don't know whether Amber Heard is toxic or not. She certainly has no respect for quarantine laws, cute as those dogs were. Pistol and Boo. They smuggled their two dogs in, Pistol and Boo, into Australia, disregarding the quarantine laws. And they got into a whole lot of trouble. They got fined hundreds of thousands of dollars. So, yeah, Meghan Markle, what was up with her?
I don't get what was so extraordinary about her appearance on the Degenerate show.
She seems to be a very polarizing tinderbox figure, and I cannot figure out why, for the life of me. People are so down on her. I mean, it's not like she needed more publicity or anything, so she didn't marry Harry for more publicity or this or that. Like, they really do love each other. He loves his wife. She's not, it's like the idea of a mixed race woman marrying into a family with German roots and a monarchy at that just appalled a lot of people. And I do feel like a lot of the criticism of her did come in England, especially, did come from right wingers, because she's of mixed race. She's African American and other things as well. And hi Connie Brown.
Hi Connie Brown.
Yeah, Connie. So the question is,
they're not German now. I mean, they're English, but they're from a German family. So so Prince Albert. So what was with it?
What was with the
You want to know what I'm getting? The Ace of Cups, the Eight of Swords, and the King of Cups reversed. And what I'm getting is that on this particular day, she just read something else bad about her or something negative, and it was just like, I just had enough. This is bloody ridiculous, and I'm bubbling over and blah, 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 and I'm bubbling over. And she was just sick of being painted into this corner and being told that she's this prison of negativity that seems to come up every time anyone mentions her name, and you know, it's like, I can't understand why Yoko Ono's so hated. She didn't break up the Beatles. The Beatles broke up the Beatles,
Yeah.
She didn't cause the rift between William and Harry. Harry did. Not Harry. William did, actually. That's my opinion. But anyway,
Yeah.
so she's like, I just want to do things to shake things up, to shake up the equilibrium here. Just shake things up from the shake up the negativity, give
Right.
people upset people the way that they've been upsetting me for no reason. So if I rattle a few cages, so what? I've been having my cage of swords rattled and things thrown at it every day. It's really about frustration. And it's like people have missed. This is an interesting one. This is from the Steampunk Tarot by Barbara Moore. And you've got this beautiful light shining up onto the hand with the pentacle there. But it came out reversed. And it's like people have so gotten themselves into this thing of hate against me that they're just missing the opportunities to get to know me and what sort of person I really am. And I do feel like she's at heart a very nice person. If she's a bit demanding on set, she wants to do a good job. And she just wanted to release a few bits of steam, take the lid off the cauldron a little bit and release some steam. So this was her way of doing it.
Yeah, I got that. She fell. This is the 10 of Wands, and the load was so heavy that she fell right on her face. I mean, it's clear from the picture, right? But she got up, and right now she is going through this transition. And see how she's holding that flag pole very firmly, and how bright the sun is in the background. This is where she's going. And she's going for it, she's going for it. I don't know whether or not she has a plan, and that's the thing that worries me a little bit, because I get the 7 of Cups again here, and she might be a little bit of a dreamer, and she might be dreaming a little bit too much. But I see here that she's working with the 6 of Pentacles. She's going to be working with some people, and who are going to help her, and she is doing that now, with her charities, and now she's looking, I think I might be wrong there, at potentially sponsoring people, women from Afghanistan. I might be wrong on that. So she's using that to basically do what she was thinking that she would do in London as Prince Harry's wife. But she's doing it her own way now. She doesn't have the corporation behind her, watching her every move and things like that.
I'm also, I drew this off the bottom of the deck, the Queen of Swords. It's like, just cut out with the judgments, y'all. I'm in a position where I can help people, and I'm trying to do that. What right do you have to judge me? So
exactly.
I'm really picking up frustration from her.
Yeah, I too. She actually has the desire just to have that comfortable family, to turn the world off and just revel in the comfort of her family, her children, her husband. She needs that. But I think she had a little naivety because, she realized that marrying Harry was the same as marrying, another superstar in Hollywood, in that the paparazzi, everybody has their 2 cents and their spoons in everything they do, and everything is polarized about what they're doing. But she had some expectations that were a little naive, and she has been surprised a few times. But I think she has the kind of spirit where that she's going to deliver a message, and it's going to surprise in that people will not expect of her what she actually is going to achieve. I got the obsession with her life, with Harry's life, with her children's lives. She's seeing how that her children will never be free. An actor can kind of fade away, and if they aren't in the headlines, they aren't talked about, they're forgotten. But with the monarchy, nobody forgets. You're always going to be a monarch. She has had some clarity on this, and she's coming to the realization that she's going to have to really think things through, not be so open, not be very careful who she allows in her inner circle, because for her life to go as her divine processes, to go at her spiritual guidance and everything, she is going to have to really it's like she's going to have to only discuss things with Harry in a closed door type room to get it. She doesn't have, it's not like she can call up a friend and tell them everything, because in these circles, she'll be backstabbed. You know what I'm trying to say? So
yeah,
that's what I got.
It's not like PLU, people like us.
Yeah.
It's like, that's bloody ridiculous. I mean, how?
I was wondering if Harry was a reincarnation of Edward VIII. It's Edward VIII, I think, that abdicated the throne to marry the Simpson lady, right? But he died in the 70s, and Harry was born in the 80s. That's a very short time for a reincarnation, is it not? Or it doesn't matter? Because
I've heard it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, okay? Because I drew the Ace of Pentacles, and I see this as if like the dead guy is passing the baton to the younger guy. And but then there's the Seven of Swords. I have the Knight of Pentacles again with the Fool. And I'm just blabbering card names now. But I have a feeling that if he's not a reincarnation of Edward VIII, Edward VIII is one of his guides, because he had his heart broken by the family. He had a lot of, regrets with the way he was treated as King of England, and he had to abdicate. And he's trying to to do a makeover somehow. So is he a reincarnation or a guide to Harry? I don't know. Maybe.
I
Stop
think
showing up my boobs. I have nothing to show for. Really. Sorry.
um with Harry, I got no. I don't think so. But
No.
he's always going to have it a little bit rough, and he's always going to be
Yeah.
viewed by some members of his family as, oh, he's done it again. So a little bit of
He's done it again.
action. And so he's always going to have to really battle to be seen for the really good person he is. Yes, he made mistakes when he was like in his early 20s. Who hasn't done something?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, he's not his perfect brother, is he?
Yeah. But but he's always going to have that struggle. And he's a ranger, which doesn't help. A redhead, it doesn't help, unfortunately. I got going right through my mind an extraordinary with Edward VIII is they wanted him to he was viewed as a hope for the future of the nation, especially in times were starting to get a little bit unsettled again in Europe after the war. It didn't take very long after the First World War for things to start getting unsettled again.
Yeah.
And then it came about that his support, he was quite, white ring and all, in some of his beliefs and all that. He had some pretty not the best beliefs, and it was felt, I think, by the powers that be that this just could not be with the King of England. This could not be. They could not have a king with those beliefs. It wasn't so much about him marrying a divorced woman.
He was a Nazi sympathizer.
She was, and she was the reason that they used to force him to abdicate, step down. But it was more about his support and his beliefs, which they would have preferred never came to light, but they did come to light. So this is things coming to light. And they were hidden obstacles before, but as long as they didn't come to light, they were willing to wear it. But they came out into the open, and they just could not have that. So it was more like, it may have been frowned upon, but the monarch, he could marry whoever he liked. But they used it as an excuse to get rid of him.
Okay.
Right.
That's just what came through my head when I was looking at the cards on Harry.
Yeah.
So what all that has to do with Harry is, I don't know, unless you're right that he is a guide. Possibly ones that are telling Harry, do not let yourself be manipulated.
Yeah.
Well, I got
governments and by other ideas of what to do.
I got, the need for it's like either a guide or reincarnated, because he needed to explore on his own. He needed that exploration process, and the reason is because there is so many huge gaps in equity, in wealth, in everything, and huge gaps in just how the monarchy thinks about, like race, things like that. And it was, they realized that it is the monarchy needed to change. The monarchy needed to change, and he's hoping, he's aiming him toward a legacy style thing. Either the it's like something he is going to do. I don't think he's in any way going to be the king, but it's like he will have a legacy, I think, in history because of something.
Okay.
Games is one thing. I pulled 2 more cards with Harry, and I've got the 3 of Wands, which is, you know, the effort that he is putting in and the work he's putting in, it is going to start showing results. Getting him maybe a bit more respect and temperance, and that the view of him within certain really parts of the family and parts of the government that need a good kick up the butt is going to be more tempered, and it'll be he'll get the more balanced view that everyone deserves a balanced view of them from the public, from the point of view. So that balance will be coming in. But even though that will be less, they always feel like he's going to be not quite one of them.
No.
Right.
You know what I mean? Well, just with the Duranger, he takes after his uncle, the Earl Spencer, with the red colouring and all that. It's like that's always caused this. Is he Charles' son? Is he not? He is Charles' son. He's not somebody else's son. But it's like, yeah. So he's always going to feel a little bit on the outside, but other people, that's within the family. Other people, they're going to come to a more balanced view of him. He's a good person. In business games, he's a marvelous.
People are going to be disappointed in William because they have high expectation of William being someone who is very what's the word? Charismatic. But I feel him being a very cold person. You don't think he's charismatic?
No, never have.
Okay.
He was good looking when he was younger, but no, he's not charismatic. Harry is charismatic.
I think so too.
There's a good deal of jealousy there. And I'm telling you, the rift is because of William. William decided he had to have the whole say on how a lot of people were saying it was Catherine who was causing the trouble with Meghan, and it wasn't. It was William. William decided he had the whole say on how his brother's wife should act, on how he should do things, and what she should do to treat him properly. He had no respect for her as an individual, and as a very strong-minded and strong-willed individual who had fought very hard. Charles is very fond of Meghan. Very fond of Meghan. He did walk her that section up.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have done that if he did not have a really, really good soft spot for her. And yeah, honestly, if you don't like what I'm going to say and you want to just unsubscribe to my channel, go ahead and do it. William's a priggish little twat.
Say that again. That was juicy. I didn't hear it all.
A priggish little twat.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He is.
I don't like
his mother, but he doesn't take after her at all.
I just don't personally like it. Look, if he becomes king, whatever. But honestly, he's about as appealing and charismatic as a wet sponge.
Well, but look at his daddy. I mean, his dad is the same way.
Charles. No, Charles is. I always liked Charles.
Yeah.
I never had the highest opinion of the work he did. Everything. Lots of respect for Princess Diana in the work she did and all that. But as a person, she very much reminds me of William.
Oh, really?
Into herself. But, you know, she's dead. Camilla, I've always liked Camilla. And
Really?
I've always liked Charles, and Charles is because he's always willing to, with the architecture and with this and the other, and his approach to things. He's a perpetual student, a perpetual learner. And it's like people don't like to think of these people as having to learn anything or having
Yeah,
a
and I
will
think
or
that's
a
super.
curiosity of their own.
And when
Yeah.
you stop learning, you start dying because
Yeah.
learning is so important for your brain,
I think
for everything.
Absolutely.
I think Charles would be a great king. I do think there's a possibility he's going to be regent. I don't know whether he'll be king, but I do think there's a good possibility he will be regent. simply
I
because of
was
his-
thinking about that, and that's what I heard Prince
See, I don't
Regent.
understand. I don't understand what the
Oh,
regent means.
A regent is when a monarch is still alive, but they cannot undertake their duties as a monarch. They can't just be replaced and someone coronated in their place. But somebody can be named as prince or princess, whatever, regent. That means that they undertake all the duties of the monarch
Okay.
on behalf of the monarch.
Okay. And whereas I think where I've heard that mentioned before was when the person who was going to be the king or whatever was a child. I knew that there was a regent thing then, but I didn't realize that they did it for. I guess it makes sense. I mean, it makes perfect sense, but it just wasn't a thing I connected together that the regent was could serve if the monarch is incapacitated.
Yeah. Well, the regency period in England, you know, the late, very late 1790s to the time that Queen Victoria was crowned.
Yeah.
That came about because King George III went
Yeah, was he the crazy one?
Yeah.
He went to Lally. And so they had to appoint a regent in his place to represent the royal family. Not that the regent was much better. He was fat and lazy and greedy, but he did all the honours and stuff like that.
But everybody said he was charming. Everybody said he was very charming.
Yeah. So there was a regency, and when he couldn't do the job anymore, and Victoria, was too young to do the job. That lasted up until she was crowned at the age of 18, 17 or 18.
Yeah, I think she was 18. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well, I think next year Prince Charles will be Prince Regent. That thing.
Yeah, people hate him because they think he treated Diana badly and all this sort of stuff. People make mistakes, yeah. But
she wasn't blameless. That's for sure.
Blameless. And the fact of the matter is, when you're marrying into a family like that, even back in the early 80s, you knew what you were marrying into. That these matches weren't made for love.
No.
William and Harry's were.
Yeah.
Diana was not a love match. Andrew and Fergie, yeah, they were, but he was. But
he's a creep.
No way Charles was allowed to marry the person he loved, which was Camilla. Camilla was divorced, and that, of course, would have thrown shade back to Edward VIII.
Yeah.
And,
right.
And it's like, yeah. So she knew the structure she was marrying into, and some of the things that could happen. But I think she really thought he'd just not be totally devoted to her for the rest of her life. And
she was what, 18, 19?
Yeah, 19, 20, something like that. Yeah.
At 18 and 19 years old, you can you can have stars in your eyes and everything.
She had stars in her eyes. But the thing is,
Especially nowadays.
she was brought up as an earl's daughter, and they're brought up from birth to know what to expect with regard to certain things within society, even in the modern day, you know. And at that stage, it still would have been very much being in who's who is this and that, and she would have been brought up, you know, if you marry, say, if you marry a duke, you're going to be expected to do this and to do that and stuff, and so on and so forth. So she would have been brought up, educated in the hierarchies and all that, and really, yeah, she did have stars in her eyes. Who can blame her? Who can blame her? I just really not quite the right temperament, I think. But she did a lot of good work. She did a lot of good work. I didn't like it. I have more sympathy for her now since it was found out how that BBC journalist basically set up the interview so that it would be like this sensational thing. And so I really hated that interview. I just thought, what a whiny cow. What a whiny cow.
Which one was that?
That famous BBC interview.
Oh, yeah. She's wearing a dress. Yeah.
No, it's like, what a whiny cow. I was a lot younger then too. And I didn't understand the subtleties and all that sort of stuff, even not that I do now. But I'm a lot older and wiser, and then coming out this year with how that journalist basically set it all up in such a way that she was, you know, going to come out and look in such a way. I have more sympathy for her. And but I always respected the work she did, definitely. And I can understand why Harry does not want Meghan to be
exposed to that.
Manipulated by the family and by the press. That's why they've taken control of that into their own hands.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. My camera, baby, screwed around with it.
I really do like Harry.
Yeah.
But
I'm gonna sign off now, guys.
I'm gonna have
9 o'clock and I have to eat some breakfast.
I'm going to.
You're going to do your journals? Thank you very much, everybody, for coming. Don't forget to email me, to email all of us.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chrissy, for coming.
Email me, Flowing and Tracy Ralph, email me, and we'll set up those 3 card oracle readings in the email. Okay. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.